everyone. Welcome to this series of conversation with AV Bootcampers. Today, we have Radhika with us, who is going to share her journey in the field of data science. Welcome, Radhika. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. What about you?
I am doing very well. Thank you so much. So, could you please introduce yourself to us quickly? Tell us a little about your family, your educational background, and your current profile.
So, I'm Radhika. I did my studies into mathematics and then I grew into data science. So a little bit about my journey, how I started. So I started my schooling from Hisar, which is in Haryana. So during my studies till 10th class, I was very much interested into mathematics. Like I used to excel into mathematics. My marks were all great as compared to other subjects.
Okay.
Now moving to 11th and 12th, like everybody did. I also, pursued non-medical. Since my maths was good, my science was good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I gave JEE, but my marks into physics and chemistry were pretty low as compared to mathematics, and that's where I understood that mathematics is something that interests me. I would not be able to go into engineering.
Okay.
So after that, what I did, I went into NIT Surat. So NIT Surat had a program of 5 years integrated course where they offered for physics, chemistry and mathematics separately, and that's where I took my mathematics. I wanted to understand my interests more.
Mm-hmm.
So after I took my 5-year program into mathematics, during that 5 years tenure, after third year, I did understand that, mathematics, yes, that interests me a lot. But I would not say the research part because, the masters were more about the research. It was more about theorems. It was more about the boring stuff, I would
Sure.
say. Yes, so the application part is something that I used to love it. But then I did not have anything that I could try it on. Anything as in I already had the theorems. I did not know where to apply this mathematics. So data science is something. So I would say that was 2017 year. Which was my third year, and the data science was something which was dwelling. I wanted to explore it. I started exploring it. I saw, my mathematics was booming there. Like I could interest myself. So that's when I grew. After 5-year program ended, I pursued my career. Into data science. So right now I am working as a data analyst consultant at a Bangalore startup company. So yes, there I'm an associate analytics consultant, and it's a service-based company.
This is a very less traveled road, I must say. So what was the point in your life when you felt that this is something that you really want to pursue?
One thing, so I had my colleagues there with me. I had my friends there with me. In mathematics, it's always whether you go into teaching or mostly it's just teaching or mostly it's just PhD. And as you mentioned, not many people knew at that point. Right now, data science is something that at least people know about it. They want to pursue. At that point, I did not. But I strongly knew my research is not something I could go into. So yes, I used to read online. I used to understand if I could apply my mathematics. So again, my very basic mathematics, not my master's level of mathematics applied. So my third year, my fourth year, where my head just burst out with the theorems. I could not take any more in. That's when I knew, I need to get out, not into PhD, not into teaching. Let's see something else. And data science, I think I did great to it. Data science, great to it.
So I'm pretty sure that your mathematical acumen must be top notch. What about your programming and statistics?
Mathematics, I can strongly say that it's nice. I am proud of my mathematics. But as you mentioned about my programming, about other skills.
Yes.
So my program did say that it will have computer subjects. But again, those were also more about what is a computer, what are the components of computer. My programming was, I would say, almost nil. I didn't even know what is Python, how to even assign a variable x is equal to 5. I didn't even know that.
Sure.
So yes, I knew computers from my I would say my work into the college, but then I did not know programming at all. So
okay.
Basically zero.
Okay, so when you didn't have any peculiar knowledge about programming, so how did you cope with it?
Okay.
Did you see it as a challenge?
Okay. So, as I mentioned that, my interest was growing. I did not have much sources. I had few sources online where everybody used to write, if you want to be data analyst or analyst, not data, business analyst or something, you need to have a programming language. You need to have SQL, you need to have a programming language. So that's when I just used to go online and just used to see that okay, how to write these programs, because those were not about C or Java. I just used to Google and used to try, but I won't say that helped me a lot. मतलब that did not help me in understanding कि मुझे डेटा साइंस में कितना पाइथन चाहिए, या कई बार ना मैं इतना पाइथन पढ़ जाती थी, मतलब बड़े बड़े फंक्शंस बन जाते थे, बट अगर मैं डेटा साइंस के रिस्पेक्ट में आज देखती हूँ तो मैंने शायद कुछ पढ़ा ही नहीं था, कुछ समझ ही नहीं आया था, कुछ पता ही नहीं था. तो I did try online, but yes. I won't say that was much successful at that point.
How did you get to know about this program? Was it able to solve these problems for you?
So yes, as I mentioned, मुझे एनालिस्ट में जाना था, मुझे वो इंटरेस्ट परस्यू करना था. नॉलेज भी नहीं थी, नॉलेज मतलब मैथ्स की थी, मुझे पता था मैथ्स यूज बहुत अच्छे लेवल पर होगा, बट प्रोग्रामिंग की मुझे नॉलेज नहीं थी. That's when I was not trying for a full time, I was trying for a intern thing, कि मुझे कोई intern ले लो so that मैं सीख लूँ, मतलब जो भी है basics. So that's when I came across Analytics Vidhya का website, and there it was mentioned that it's an and it was luckily to whatever I was expecting, कि it was an internship, वो सिखा भी देंगे, it's not just कि job है, सिखा भी देंगे. So that's when I came across कि मैं internship के लिए apply ही कर रही थी और मुझे Analytics Vidhya का एक बहुत बड़ा ad दिखा था. So yes, Google helped me there. Analytics Vidhya का जो उसी time bootcamp निकला था, so that helped, and that's how I stumbled upon it.
Yes. So what were the features that attracted you to further investigate and get to know about this program in detail?
One, as I mentioned, मुझे internship चाहिए था. Internship only because कि मुझे इंडस्ट्री समझ में आए, क्योंकि मैंने जैसे मेंशन किया ना कि मैं गूगल पर जाके पाइथन पढ़ रही थी, बट मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि मैंने जितना पाइथन पढ़ लिया, अगर मैंने एक बड़ा फंक्शन बना लिया, क्या वो मेरे डेटा साइंस में काम आएगा. तो मुझे इंडस्ट्री में जाना था, इसलिए मुझे इंटर्नशिप चाहिए था, मुझे सिर्फ कोर्स नहीं चाहिए था. तो बूट कैंप में इनफैक्ट दोनों थे. कोर्स भी था कि वो तुम्हें वीक एंड पर तुम्हें एक प्रोजेक्ट दे रहे हैं या फिर क्लासेस ले रहे हैं, एंड वीक डे में वो तुम्हें पढ़ाएंगे. So it was like the best thing for me, and like मेरे लिए यही फीचर्स बेस्ट थे कि इंडस्ट्री भी है, मेरे को पढ़ाएंगे भी जो मुझे चीज़ें चाहिए. एंड द थर्ड बेस्ट पार्ट वाज लाइव इंटरेक्शन. आई वोंट से ऑफलाइन और ऑनलाइन, बट कि एक टीचर होगा. जैसे अगर मैं और वेबसाइट पे जाती थी तो इशू ये होता था कि इट वाज प्री रिकॉर्डेड, मेरे पास भी तो मेरे डाउट्स हैं, तो आई कुड नॉट गेट दैट. सो द थ्री फीचर्स व्हिच अट्रैक्टेड मी द मोस्ट वाज इंटर्नशिप, इंडस्ट्री एक्सपीरियंस एंड लाइव इंटरेक्शंस अलॉन्ग विद एवरीथिंग.
So how important do you think this internship was? Like, what were you doing actually in the internship, if you could share with us?
So I know what internship is, I would say, because हम intern से expect करते हैं कि उनको basic पता होगा. So ये internship वो नहीं थी. ये internship की थी कि हम तुम्हें weekday पे पढ़ा देंगे 5 दिन, फिर जो तुमने पढ़ लिया फिर वो normal internship की तरह वर्क करेंगे. ठीक है, तुम्हें कुछ basic आता है ना, we are giving you data, work on it. So that is how our internship went. I won't say it was कि बहुत स्मूथली निकल गई या एफर्ट ही नहीं लगा, या जैसे मैं फुल टाइम हूँ, कभी मैं घूमने चली जाती हूँ इवन ड्यूरिंग द डे, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं था. बहुत एग्जॉस्टिंग था, बट ये था कि बहुत कुछ सीख लिया था मैंने वो इंटर्नशिप में.
Okay.
So yes.
Now coming to the mentors, how did mentors really help you shape up your career in the field of data science?
Sure. So, as I mentioned that it was a weekend and a weekday thing. So weekdays they used to teach us, and weekend they used to give us work to do.
Okay.
Now about mentors, like in the weekday, we had mentors who used to teach us, and those were different mentors. But on the weekend, like they didn't used to give us same data, because that would be kind of spoon feeding, and again that won't be helpful for us. So there were different mentors for us.
Okay.
A set of mentors who used to teach us all the concepts with infinite number of queries that I can go up to them. So there were probably 2 to 3 mentors for us, and over the weekend we had different set of mentors who were all about data, who were all about hands-on. Like while you're doing the hands-on, just reach out to us. It's so that either way it will be helpful for us also to understand different people's mindsets. So yes, mentors, I would say I had 4 to 5 mentors.
Okay.
And for different kind of areas, that one with the queries, one with a more topic related questions, and all of them were great.
How did you cope with the constant pressure which required consistent discipline?
Again, as I mentioned in all of my answers, कि मुझे जो नहीं मिल रहा था वो मुझे इस bootcamp में मिल गया था. तो जो मुझे नॉलेज मिल रही थी, आई डोंट थिंक फिर मुझे इतना प्रेशर का प्रॉब्लम हुआ था. बट येस, ऑफ कोर्स देयर वर मोमेंट्स व्हेन वी डिड रीच आउट टू मेंटर्स दैट इट्स काइंड ऑफ बिट प्रेशराइजिंग. बट मतलब एक ऐसा पॉइंट भी आया था जब हमें दिख रहा था हमने कितना कुछ सीख लिया है. इवन 1 महीने में हमने इतना सीख लिया है, तो उसके बाद शायद हम कभी मेंटर्स के बाद दोबारा गए ही नहीं प्रेशर के लिए कि प्रेशर हो रहा है या डिसिप्लिन हो रहा है. हम खुद से बहुत डिसिप्लिन हो गए थे फिर कि हमें सीखना है बिकॉज हमें बहुत कुछ मिल रहा है. सो अगेन आई हैव नो आंसर्स टू दिस.
I think you are a curious learner, I must say. And you have been, very curious and, being very disciplined when it comes to you learning about data science industry. So I think that's a great quality in you, Radhika, as a person. Okay, so now let's come up to the placements. How did you prepare yourself for the placements, for the interviews? How was the process for you?
Okay. So again, going back to the few of the answers that I already gave. That जब मैं internship लिए apply कर रही थी तो मुझे कुछ आता नहीं था, इतना डर लगता था मुझे placement से. तो यहाँ पर ऐसा हुआ था कि 6-7 months we did read a lot, we did hands-on experience and all. After a point पढ़ा सब था, आता सब था, but ऐसा कि अगर मैं अब सीधा placement में जाऊँगी तो मुझे डर लगेगा. तो what this, which we did not know that we will have mock placements and all. And as I said कि हमारे पास different set of mentors थे. तो कुछ mentors ना ऐसे कुछ टाइम पर बोल देते थे कि ठीक है अभी हम तुम्हारा इंटरव्यू लेंगे, मॉक इंटरव्यू. And that used to be 1-on-1. And that used to be जो हमने पढ़ लिया है. तो it was never about कि कुछ कॉम्प्लेक्स पूछ रहे थे उनसे, कुछ भी नहीं. अगर मैंने एक नॉर्मल चीज समझी है ना उनसे, तो वो उसी पर ही हमें इतने क्वेश्चंस घुमा के उस मॉक प्लेसमेंट्स में पूछ लेते थे. एंड ऑल द डिफरेंट मेंटर्स, मतलब अगर आज एक मेंटोर ने मेरा एक मॉक प्लेसमेंट लिया सेम टॉपिक पे ना, कल दूसरे मेंटोर लेंगे, परसों तीसरे मेंटोर लेंगे. तो मुझे इतने याद हो गए हैं दैट टिल टुडे मैं अपने टॉपिक्स रिवाइज नहीं करती.
That's wonderful.
So that's how I got placed. I prepared for the placements.
Okay, so do you think this process was any different than college placements?
Yes. One thing I would say, I don't know if negative, positive, there were a lot of companies that used to come in college. But again, I would say in college, they don't look out for talent more. They just look out for, since they're graduates, they're like, if you have the knowledge, we'll take you in. Here, it was that they did want candidates with a great knowledge. And we were them, even though companies were not ample, which were coming in, but whosoever were coming in, they were just picking out, they were not even going empty-handed, since we were okay with it. So placements, yes, it was a bit tough since companies were less. But there was not even a single moment where we could not crack the interview because of the training that we had gone through.
Okay, that's wonderful. So I'm sure, the experience must have been great when you were actually giving the interviews.
Yes, absolutely. The confidence that I had while I was giving the real placement interviews rather than the mock ones, I mean, literally, I was in my head, it was like that you can ask me anything. At least I'll be confident enough to tell you that I don't know or whether I know. And if I know it, I'll answer it. I won't be, talking around the bushes for the answer. So I'll just get to the point for the answer itself fast. So yes, I was pretty much confident during my interviews.
So is there any particular story about the bootcamp that sets apart from, other products that are there in the market?
Okay. So, yes. So, one thing which I can say distinctively is that all of, I won't name the websites though. I did try before bootcamp some websites where I could learn about data science, so where I could learn from how to apply those concepts onto the data set. But those were either pre-recorded, or even if there were, live interactions that, 1 hour during the day and this and that. But we still had queries, we still had concepts that need to be asked. And now that again, it is a rigorous process here for the 9 months. I was here for the 9-month bootcamp program. Yes. But that paid off so well that, as I mentioned, that till today I don't need to go and revise my concepts. And everything, since I could just, my mentors were just a text away on. So I could always ask my queries on the groups. Or after this, I had my people or I had my co-workers who were also, learning the same things. So we were all curious. We all had the mentors. So the groups that we had, or the space that we shared, that was so knowledgeable, that was so encouraging. I loved it. I would say that was the most distinctive part there.
That's wonderful. So I think having a mentor text away is something, it's very, reassuring for me as a student. So how is your experience with that? Were you friends with your mentors? It feels like to me.
Yes, absolutely. Until today, if I'll ever be stuck, since I'm a full-time professional right now, so I work with data and all. So, even if till today I feel like that I'm stuck, I can any day call them. I can call them any minute, any day. So they will be responding to me. So it's not just that, they were only there for that program. They're still there today for me. So they were mentors, they are still mentors to me. Just like my college mentors or my school mentors.
Wonderful. So coming back to your current profession, so after completing the Analytics Vidhya's Bootcamp, how are you able to, apply your course learnings in your current profile?
I would say the things that we learned, they were anyways directed towards industry experience. They were anyways directed towards data that we need to handle. So the learnings that we had, those were not bookish, those were not theoretical. That while I'm going out as a full-time, I might stumble upon something different. So yes, of course, challenges are there every day. But whatever I've learned, that was directed towards my discipline. So
Okay.
I won't say it's something different that I'm going to conquer every day. No, I'm pretty much confident that whatever now it will come, it will be something that I've already learned and I know how to go about it.
Okay, that's wonderful. So what do you think? I'm sure you must have done a lot of life projects also during your bootcamp journey. So how did they play a role in your learning?
At the very starting, they were a lot to take in. I mean, I did not have a clue what's happening. I did not have a clue how to do the stuff. Because again, we used to study some theorems, we used to study some concepts, and then we used to go and apply the data. So yes, in the very starting for the very first project, it took me a month to understand what's happening. So yes, actually the mentors gave us a month to, prepare for that project. They used to teach us every small step. But after that, once we understood that one single project, after that, they used to give us more projects in less time and we did not have a problem.
Okay.
So the projects that I did in bootcamp, I think they were pretty nice to me. Now I'm very much comfortable with anything that comes.
Okay. So could you share some of the favorite tools that you learned in bootcamp and you're applying in your current profession?
Okay. So in bootcamp, as we talked in the very starting, that my programming was a zero.
Yes.
So that's not a tool. That's a skill that I have. So Python, yes. Machine learning, yes. I learned a lot. I actually started from the statistics. I started with the statistics, which is the base of ML/DL. So there I started, and right now I'm very much thorough with, as you mentioned, tools. Also, I learned Tableau also. I learned Python, which I use as a language to perform machine learning or any other algorithms which are in machine learning, I would say.
So is there any advice that you would like to give to people who are currently looking to build a career in data science, or who are looking to join this bootcamp?
Okay. One advice to the people who might join later on for the coming batches, that yes, it's a rigorous process. Again, I'm not saying that for scaring people.
Yeah.
It's a rigorous process, but as I mentioned, at the end of the day, when you see the results, and not just after end of the 9 months that you got a job, that's the result. No, right today, it's already been 1.5 years that I've left the bootcamp, that I was a student. So till today, I don't need to revise my concepts. That is the fruit that I'm talking about.
Yes.
That once you've heard, you won't need to do those things. But during that process, you need to be thorough. You need to be disciplined. You need to be honest with you that whatever you are doing, you do it thoroughly. You do it religiously. That's what I would say.
Yes, that's great. So Radhika, you are one of the students who was there in batch 1. So now if you join the boot camp, or in the past, is there anything that you would do it differently?
Again, for this, whatever I learned, since I learned from very scratch, I won't say I would change anything as such. To be honest, I'm not saying it for flattering or anything. No,
Yeah.
I am actually saying it honestly. I don't think I'll change anything, since I was a student who didn't know anything about not even Python, not even machine learning. I did know that I have an interest there, so I don't think I'll change anything for students like who would be coming.
Okay, I think you were a very disciplined student, and we can see a fruitful result here, a successful data science. What else do we need? So thank you so much for this lovely conversation. It was great to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.